Hello, my name is Matt Curcio, and this is Just Enough Bioinformatics to Get Started. This lecture is on VirtualBox, or how to run Ubuntu-Mate without even installing it. So there is a piece of software called a VirtualBox or a virtual machine that allows you to run different operating systems on your computer as if it was a brand new computer in a sense. This VirtualBox is free, and I'll show you how to download it and work it with Ubuntu-Mate. So let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is to download the VirtualBox software, and you can do that by going to virtualbox.org. And I will put the websites below this video for your downloading. And if you go to this window, you'll see that there's different platforms. It has a Windows, an OS platform, and even a Linux platform, so it's very versatile. By downloading it, let's say we're downloading Windows, we want an exe file. We can save it to our desktop and open it up later. And once we do that, we can then go to Ubuntu-Mate. Ubuntu-Mate.org is what we want to do. We'll go to the download site and we'll find this page. We'll find different architectures. Most new computers are 64-bit, but if you have a very old computer, it might be 32-bit. So we want to go to 64-bit. It suggests using 3 gigs of RAM and a UEFI PC. That's fine. Once we click on that, we have several more options. The latest and greatest is the 18.04 version, or the version that was produced in 2018 on the 4th month, April. It's an LTS version, which means a long-term support version, which is good until about 2021. And it's nicknamed Bionic. So you might hear Bionic or C Bionic instead of 18.04 listed in some Ubuntu literature. We'll click on it, and now we come to the download page. There's several ways to download this software. One is by torrent or magnet link, and the other is by an ISO. An ISO is a compressed format that you can run on CD or on a USB stick, and it is about 1.9 gigs large, so it's a very large file. In contrast, the VirtualBox software is about 74 megabytes. So if we look at the two softwares that I've downloaded, Ubuntu-Mate is about 2 gigs, and the VirtualBox for Linux itself is about 74 megabytes. So that's what you need to get started. So once you have installed this VirtualBox software, we can run it and open it, and we'll come to this page. This is our VirtualBox Manager page. We want to set up a new machine. So we'll press New, and here we have some information that we want to put in. We'll put in Ubuntu, and we'll even put in 18.04, and it knows to switch to Linux. And also we want to choose Ubuntu 64-bit, so that's fine. We can press Next, and here is the memory size. This is referring to the RAM size. We can actually bump this up a little bit and stay within the green area, and we'll bump this up to about 4 gigabytes. That's fine. We can go to Next. And then now it asks us about the hard disk size. The defaults are fine for us right now, and it is defaulted to about 10 gigabytes, and it will create a virtual hard disk. That's fine. We can create this. Now, the type of file that is going to be put on your computer is a VirtualBox disk image, or a .vdi. And this simply is a file that has all the information about the system that we're going to be running, called Ubuntu-Mate, on your computer. So we'll press Next again, and it asks us more default questions. We don't have to worry about dynamically allocating anything. We can choose the default, press Next again, and it asks us again, do you want to name this Ubuntu 18.04? That's fine. Do you want to have a 10 gigabyte hard drive? That's fine. Again, we can create it. So we now have the start of our Ubuntu-Mate geared and ready to go. So what we want to do is we'll start it. And this little window will come up. Select a startup disk. So from here, we want to choose where our Ubuntu-Mate has been downloaded. I have downloaded mine to the downloads file, obviously, and I will choose that as my system to run. I can open that. That shows up here, which is fine, and now I can start it. Now, this VirtualBox is running, and while it's running, I can go to the top right and expand the window, and I can see a few things happening right now. One is a message up here. It seems like it's an error message, but it's not. It's just telling us that it will use the keyboard to capture things. That's fine. We can close that. If we look down here on the right-hand side, we can see that things are moving and working. The hardware is communicating to the software. If we look at the top left, we see options for the VirtualBox software. So we see preferences, machine settings, view, input using keyboards or mouse, devices, and then help. Let's go back to view, and we can choose full screen mode. That's fine. It asks us if we want to use this. We say fine, and now we're in full screen mode. Now, the Ubuntu-Mate has two different modes it can run in. One is a trial mode, and one is an installation. The trial mode is fine for us right now. We don't need to install anything. We can simply try it as it is. We'll use that. And this may take a little while your machine reads the software. Depending on your machine, it will run faster or slower. And here we have the Ubuntu-Mate desktop. As you see on the top left, you have a menu, you have Firefox, you have information on the top right, and you have a home folder and even a little icon to help you install it later on. We're going to delete this for now. What you also have on the bottom, if you push your mouse to the bottom, you should see the information for the VirtualBox also pop up again. So here is the file, here is the machine, here is the view, input, devices, and so forth and so on. Now, this welcome screen has shown up on Ubuntu. That's fine. We don't really need it. We'll close it. Okay. And now we're ready to use Ubuntu-Mate. So the first thing that we can do is actually open up a command line interface, a command terminal. We can do that by pressing Control, Alt, and T. Let's try that again. Control, Alt, T. So Control, Alt, T allows you to get into the Bash terminal. And I've opened up two because I've pressed it twice, but I did that because I also wanted to show you how to open and close the Bash terminal. Opening it is Control, Alt, T. Closing is Control, Shift, Q. If you want to find that again, you can go to the top left, press File, open a tab is Control, Shift, T, or Control, Shift, Q. A new tab is that. You can copy and paste information. You can view the information by zooming in, zooming out. You can search, and you can look for other terminal or help information. So this concludes the simple installation. One more point. What we want to do also is we'll close this down, and we want to save our configuration. So we have basically gotten Ubuntu-Mate started and running on our virtual machine, on the software VirtualBox. So we want to save this configuration. We want to come back to it later on so we don't have to reinstall it, so to speak, or run the first part over again. So what we'll do is we'll go to the bottom, pressing the cursor to the bottom. This line will show up. We have File. Nope. We have Machine. Yes. So what we see is we have Settings, Take Snapshot, Session Information, Pause, Reset, and Shut Down. We want to take a snapshot. What that does is grabs all the information from this operating system and saves it into our .vdi file on your hard drive. And then when we open this VirtualBox up again, it will come to this position and this spot. So we'll press that and we'll call it first use. And you can title it however you want. You can add a description if you want, but we'll press OK. This may take a second or two to grab the configuration and the settings. It's saving the virtual machine to your VDI file. And once it does that, we can close the software in a specific way, which I'll show you. So that didn't take that long. We'll go to the bottom again, and we'll go to machine again. Now we will press ACPI shutdown. That simply is telling the computer that it's shutting down the proper way. If you do not use this ACPI shutdown, you may have a corrupted system, so it will not start again when you try to open it. So like a real computer, it wants to be shut down in a specific way. We'll shut it down, press yes, or shut down. It may take a moment or two, and it's asking us to remove the installation hardware. That's fine. We don't have any. We can press enter. And here we go. We're back to our VirtualBox software and machine here. Everything is all set and ready to go again if we'd like. So that concludes this video on VirtualBox and virtual machines. Thank you. Bye-bye.